There's a huge problem with the YouTube financial space right now, and that is side hustles. There are so many people telling you to start a social media marketing agency, do drop shipping, do crypto, become an online coach, ship things from Alibaba, put your logo on it and then ship them to people. Airbnb, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, real estate, go to Saudi Arabia, strike oil, take said oil, bring it back to America, start a war, end a war, and so on. You guys know all the videos on YouTube. But the problem with young men is that we often pay the stupid tax. And I have a little theory. I think human beings, especially men, only pay the stupid tax when they're afraid of being looked at as other people as not worth being respected. Because in man's eyes, respect is currency. So often we want to assume the role of being an entrepreneur or the perception of being successful more so than we actually want the success itself. And it leads us to starting businesses when we have no experience whatsoever and never learning anything and just trying to jump right in. Now, obviously you can do that if you have a 5 to 10 year horizon ahead of you, but often young men are just bouncing from one opportunity to the next because something didn't work out in 3 months. So here's my theory for today in how young men can become successful. Guaranteed. You guys have to pick one route. You have to earn or you have to learn. If you guys have no skills and you have no experience, if you pick earn out the gate and you want to go become an entrepreneur, you are only going to rise to the level of credits that you've achieved. You should start on the other end. You should start learning. You should go find a business that you can rise up in, a great mentor that can teach you. Go find any business and work sales. Start at the bottom of the barrel. Become an appointment setter, then become a closer, then become a sales lead, then learn about the marketing, then learn about how to run the team, then encapsulate all these things and then go in and cash the credits and pick earn. At that point, you'll be making $250K a year plus. If you guys expect to cash in at the age of like 17 or 21, you're never actually going to assume the success, then you're never going to actually be satisfied with what you're cashing in. Take me, for example. I started out as a lonely appointment setter. I actually moved all the way from Maryland all the way over to California just to become an appointment setter and couch surf for almost a year. It was painful, but it taught me two things. Number one, how to generate deals and close them. And number two, effort. I had unlimited effort. I joke around that I could have become a Navy SEAL at the time because my pain tolerance was so high. So I cashed those skills in over on this side still and became a closer, and then I kept learning how to close, and then I saw what other people were doing around me that wasn't so good and helping them out to led me to being a CSO, a chief sales officer, and then I thought, you know what, the leads that we're getting aren't that good. So then I started learning marketing, and I encapsulated marketing and sales and appointment generation and team building and leadership and high pain tolerance. And at the point that I cashed that in, I started my social media marketing agency, and I still started at zero. So I learned all this over here just to go back to zero to being an entrepreneur. And then it took me 3 years after that to scale my agency all the way up to $5 million with all of the skills that I had learned. And in 2023, I actually just exited my agency. I just sold it to a strategic buyer for a couple $1,000,000. And I know what you guys are thinking. Time to cash in, right? No. I am actually still going to work with a ton of different teams as a fractional CSO so that I can learn what it takes to run a huge sales organization. Even though I've cashed in, so to speak, and made a couple $1,000,000 off of the agency sale, I'm still going back to the other side to learn more. And once I feel like I've learned enough over here as a fractional CSO, a fractional chief sales officer, then I'm going to come over here and cash it in and build world-class sales organizations and teams with hundreds, if not thousands of different sales reps. And that is my play for massive financial freedom. So if you guys are not where you want to be as a young man right now, then you have to be honest with yourself. Where are your skills at? Where's your knowledge? Where's your belief? Where's your pain tolerance? Where's your effort levels at? If they're not world class, don't cash them in. If you only want to hang around in the earn side of the equation and you're never going to take time off to go back to the learn side, then you're never going to break through any barriers or ceilings and you're never going to actually have the success that you want to make. I'll give you one last analogy. I love bodybuilding. In fact, I actually won a couple men's physique shows, one in Maryland, one in Baltimore, and then one on the entire East Coast. But I never spent all year round looking super cut and aesthetic and great. I had to go back to the bulk side, the side where I didn't look as attractive, and I wouldn't post pictures on Instagram because I gained up to 15 to 16% body fat and I was bulking over here and basically teaching my muscles how to grow so that when I cashed it in and I got to see what was underneath after a long cut, I looked incredible. But essentially, if you want to be successful in 2023, then you actually need to hang out on the learn side of the equation and only cash in the earn side when you're ready. When you cash it in, you will only be paid exactly what you're worth. And I think if you can be honest with yourselves, the reason you're not successful right now is because you don't have a lot to cash in. So go back to the earn side, find a company, mentor, or group that you can be a part of that can teach you all the skills that you need so that by the time you cash in, you will actually start earning what you want to be earning. These are just what I've noticed in my entrepreneurial journey. If you guys want to learn way more about making money online, remote closing, building businesses, scaling agencies, then go ahead and hit sub because we give away free information like every single week to making the exact amount of money that you actually want to be making.